So this is a potential out of bounds that I found in Deep Sea Danger. Unfortunately, this is kind of useless right now for reasons that you will see when I show it off, but anyways, to the actual good part. So I'm at the second part of the job where you have the little fish, but you can do this obviously at any time because it's always here. You're going to want to swim down over here to the left side of the map. And keep in mind that the little, like, death plane for you to fail the job is very close to here, so you want to be careful, especially when you get to this point. You're going to get along this little hill. You can kind of see right where my cursor is, there's this little slit, this little tiny slit of, like, almost void or space, and that's kind of what we're going to take advantage of. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, like, very gingerly swim your way along this wall, and once you see Dimitri go through the wall, you're going to want to press square to go over there. Again, the plane to fail the job is very, very close to here. So if I were to swim out like one step, I'd basically be right there. But now that we're here, we're basically just going to like look at this little point here where the triangle kind of meets up and just keep swimming until this thing will eventually push you down. And there you go. So now we are out of bounds. The problem with this is, well, for starters, you can't clip back in bounds from here. This is all solid from the outside. You also can't swim too much further down because down there is also like a huge death plane that will just get you instantly. Basically, if you swim lower than like the level of the floor, the game just takes that as instantly killing you. But you can actually go like a decent ways with this. You guys can see here, like, you can go around the entire place of this map. There's some weird collision here, and there may also be some like death planes. There's death planes like a few tucked away under here. There's ones way out there. As you can see there, yeah, the things are just everywhere. So let me take some time to get back there real quick. Hopefully not fail the job as I try to get back into this. Back over here, swim out. There we go. Like I said, you have to be very careful, and I think we're going to have to play around with this a little bit if we choose to with emulation tools. My gosh, that's really annoying. But yeah, you guys get the idea. You can actually go way further back to where the starting area is, and you can get out of bounds there and swim around a lot in the back and get some pretty cool views of the map as it is. Like I said, there's just like a lot of really annoying stuff to watch out for because death planes are like everywhere in this out of bounds. So why does this have no practical use right now? Well, for starters, I have no idea what this out of bounds would actually be used for. I had a theory that we could do kind of like a Jack 3 training course thing, where maybe we could like despawn the fish or the blast collars, and maybe they would count as collected. Of course, that's all theory. I don't know that. And as you guys can see here, yeah, this is like the starting area where you would immediately jump in and Bentley would be like, hey, diver, do whatever for the buttons. So if you swim out a tiny bit here, once again, there's like a huge death plane if you swim out too far, so you got to be careful. But you can actually get up to the surface here, and you can still see inside all of the area. It's actually really beautiful, and it looks really cool when it's not all murked up by the water area. But unfortunately, this is also kind of the problem. So if you haven't played this job before, the game kind of prevents you from getting out of here. In actuality, of course, Dimitri is just kind of like a free soul. Like, this water and everything is just an effect. And whenever you try to get above the water surface, the game will put you into this state, where right now I can't even shoot my harpoon gun, I can't do anything. The only way I can move is if I can, like, move back into the water. So the problem is, without finding a way to sort of get past this collision, there is no way to really fly around freely and get out of bounds because you're just going to be stuck in this state. And I know for a fact that it's not based on Dimitri's Y-coordinate because I just had Nudie test this out with some emulation tools. He, like, warped Dimitri up a bunch of coordinates and you're still in the diving state. Weirdly enough, he also said that, like, if you're up there with, like, cheat codes, you can't swim back down into the water. So I definitely would think this is, like, a plane of collision. But yeah, the whole idea here, if this is going to ever be useful, is trying to find a way to get out of the water without being stuck into this state. And as I said, that's a lot easier said than done because you can swim out a long, long way and the game will just kill you. So that's one thing there. There was also one setup that I was kind of playing around with here. This one's a lot more precise, but basically, where even was it? You basically, like, you can hug one of these rocks, and you can get out of bounds that way. I want to see if I can try and recreate this. It was one of these big posts. You can, like, swim down here to some extent. Ah, maybe it wasn't this one. Where was it? won't spend forever trying to find this for the sake of the video, but there is one right around here where you can kind of clip through the floor, like that. That's the start of it, so now we're also out of bounds here, and it's going to need a little more fiddling in order to get through here. There we go. So yeah, that's another way to get out as well. Now we're on the left side. You can actually loop all the way around to this part with the way I did here, but it's really annoying, like I said, because death planes are virtually everywhere. In fact, I think I swim up a bit here. Yeah, like, there's a lot more death planes just right around here, and it's going to be the same dip where even if you don't fail the job, you can't swim out too far because that'll happen. So there's definitely a lot to mess around with, but there you go. Right now, it's just something kind of cool to get some cool views of the job with, and I hope it's something that can become useful in the future.